Well, this is certainly a show that happened. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT, as well as my NXT Takeover In Your House 2021 predictions. Yep, 2 videos, humans had to be together into one because, in all honesty, while I think this card could be pretty good, the hype for the matches just really is kind of there. Like, there's a little bit of build to some of them, and the 5-way will certainly be nuts, but it is what it is. Let me know your predictions, and also let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments. So we get recaps of what's up, the Fatal 5-way, where it's going to be 5 men, human centipede together. Yes, I'm trying to turn that into a thing, because why the fuck not? Why not have some kind of fun? And then we have Austin Theory versus Oney Lorcan, because they brawled backstage over whose guy, was the toughest. And then they also had something on the WWE Twitter feed. Yes, a match built on Twitter. Might as well use the power of social media. It was hard-hitting. It was fine. It was fine. It was 2 guys that can work, but it was a match that was just there. Dunn shows up, and then Gargano shows up during the break. We got a sitting springboard Spanish fly. It's really the only way I can describe it. It was sitting, but then he would manage to spring off because Theory's a hell of an athlete, and Lorcan is a professional, and they did a nice move there. And then Gargano and Dunn start fisting each other outside. And whenever you see 2 men fisting each other in your vicinity, you are going to look. Trust me, I know about it. Always delete your search history. And Lorcan ends up winning. Okay, life goes on. And then LA Knight is there with 2 women that really reminded me of, the girls that were cast in these bargain basement horror movies that were really just there to be pretty girls and not be much else. They just stage you laughing, and he was in a pool and doing all this stuff, and they were laughing, and that's enough laughing, and they shut up. It was like they were unfinished real dolls. I don't know why they're utilizing women like this, is what it is. And I don't know what this is for. Oh, right, because Knight wants to carry on the Ted DiBiase $1 Million Man legacy. And Doc Hendricks, if you will, yes, Michael Hayes as Doc Hendricks, because we're going back to the In Your House thing, and Todd Pettengill will apparently be hosting the thing, which is good. I like Todd Pettengill. And then we get Michael Hayes just, doing the Slam Jam thing. Not the album, no, he's just giving the recaps and the rundown of the card. And then Legoland Phantasm are in the ring. Reed shows up to recap him slamming Escobar repeatedly into the wall. They repeated this thing a whole lot. And then, how about and MSK shows up, and then Escobar says, hey, how about we have a winner-takes-all match at, or winners-take-all at Takeover. Okay, we agree to that, so it's going to be the North American Championship and the Tag Team Championships on the line, and I assume whoever gets the pin wins the titles for their team. I mean, I assume that's what it's going to be. Since it's for 2 championships, it's a bit odd, and since it's 6 men, but whatever. Then Swerve and the Stooges show up, and I love Swerve. I do not give 2 flying fucks about this Hit Row game. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I love Swerve, and I hope Swerve gets something out of this. I do not care for this group. If you do, that's totally fine. Then they're there, and then Swerve's gonna have a match against Dane next. Get vaccinated soon, unless you think like Jackson Riker, the Jackson Rectionist, Cracker Commander Riker, and you think that the January 6th, insurrection attempt should be forgotten. Shouldn't be fucking forgotten, because it was to overthrow a legal election. You fucking goddamn brainless twats. Can't you get that through your thick skulls? And we should also remind ourselves that there are some wrestlers that supported that in all companies, and they should be lambasted for that, and everybody should be lambasted. But anyway, get vaccinated soon. I got my 2nd shot, and I feel great. At least now. It didn't so much, afterwards, but I'm certainly glad that I got it. Minimal side effects, and you'll feel better. And it's for the betterment of mankind. All of mankind. Bang, bang! Wait, that's Cactus Jack. Moving on. Dane versus Swerve. Cool. Love Swerve. I do not have enough time to care about this feud happening. And so this group is just unnecessary. They don't feel like stars. They're annoyances. They're annoying. I don't see how, unless Swerve somehow gets a championship out of this, them holding all the gold would be catastrophic. The big guy in Hit Skid Row nearly dropped Drake really badly on the apron. Good job there. I know people have to start somewhere, but my God, that was painful. And then that was it. Swerve wins. Okay, life goes on. I hope Swerve again gets something out of this. Candice doesn't like Poppy. Indy walks off because Loomis still loves him. And Grimes is doing the same shtick that LA Knight did. Because we just can't let this comedy bullshit go. Mercedes is attacked by Xia Li during her entrance. And then she throws out Xia Li, who took a pretty hard bump out there. And then she squashes the jobber in 30 seconds. I don't know who the jobber is. I couldn't tell you if you paid me $1 million. They didn't announce her name. I don't have a goddamn clue. Breezango are talking about Imperium and wearing shirts so goddamn loud that I think somebody on the planet Neptune was able to hear them. So then Poppy drops her album, and Triple H is amazed that an album can drop just from a phone and everything. So am I, because I have no idea how the fuck this shit works. Poppy is weird. Very weird. Has good music, is very, very weird. So Loomis offers her a draw, and she hugs him. Indy is upset. The sad thing is probably the best storyline going on in NXT. This is probably the least offensive one. When did the quality of the show dip so dramatically? I don't mind entertainment, but seriously, there's just a hodgepodge of people, stables, and everything, and they're just all kind of there. NXT used to be the hot brand and everything, and now it's just there most weeks. So, Grimes and Knight do bad comedy, walking to the ring. DiBiase's in the ring, and so, basically the idea is it's going to be a ladder match for the $1 Million Championship to carry on the $1 Million legacy. Okay. This feud does not warrant a ladder match, and it sure as fuck does not warrant the $1 Million Championship. I knew that's where they were going, but goddamn, a ladder match, really? Is what it is. I think these guys are good workers. They'll take some hard bumps. I don't care about this feud. Regal and Security are breaking up a fight between O'Reilly and Cross, which is clearly the feud they're building towards for the August Takeover. Grizzled Young Veterans, soon to be rectimized, if you will, as tag team champions, took on August Gray and Jiro something or other. Apparently, they're both from 205 Live. I don't watch 205 Live. I'm sorry. Ciampa and Thatcher show up, sit in chairs, and basically the 205 Live guys get beat. And with the Ticket to Mayhem. And then they cut promos. We're going to have a Tornado Tag Rules next week. We're going to have that match. Cool. I mean, I think that they'll have a good... I would say make it the main event, because you're coming off of a takeover, you got to have some kind of hook, but they may open the show with that. So then Candice is talking about Poppy and calls her out. And Poppy says, I don't wrestle, but I know someone who does. And Io has made her return. I guess they're not having Io and Frankie Monet have a feud. I thought that's where they were going to go with it. But Io took some time off. They brawl, and man, Poppy's gear was certainly interesting. And, they have a camaraderie because Poppy has sung Io to the ring before. All right, it was what it was. So Hayes then, does another wrap-up talking about the TakeOver card, and then we get Raquel staring Io down backstage, and here's the match Dakota with Raquel versus Ember, not with Shotzi, because Shotzi was taken out. When, in the words of commentary, Raquel, gave it to Shotzi in front of Ember, I may have misunderstood that. Though Raquel, of course, wants to keep a minority down, despite the fact that, who would have kicked her and her family out despite her being legally here for a while. Good job, you idiot. Still a tremendous worker. And pace is good as expected. Hard kicks and strikes. We get a code breaker off the ropes by Ember. That was good stuff. Kicks by Kai, it's like Taibo, only it's Kaibo, if you will. And Raquel got hit and died by Ember. Raquel causes a DQ. One arm bomb into a stunner and an eclipse on Raquel. She's out and holding the championship. She's not going to win. And then Cross wants all his opponents to know they won't win. Regal's in the ring and says, Cross, we're not going to have this. We're not going to have this happen. I'm not going to have this get out of control. You don't run NXT. I run NXT, he says. All four guys cut promos. Cole does it via satellite, so all five guys, basically. And then we get sloppy brawl stuff. The security guys get taken out. No, Cole's there. What pretends to be shocked? This is, of course, after Cross fisted O'Reilly from behind, and that's it. So the show was fine. It was fine. Let's move on to the TakeOver predictions. So yeah, literally 9 minutes in, we're going to get to this. Grimes versus LA Knight ladder match for the $1 Million Championship. LA Knight will win. I mean, I don't actually really care if Grimes does win. I would just prefer LA Knight get the victory. And you have Grimes, the babyface, challenge Knight later down the road. And feud over a championship that meant fuck all, but even back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was simply given to DiBiase to make him stand out after he did not beat Randy Savage at WrestleMania 4. But yeah, LA Knight's going to get the victory. Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. Hopefully not with the Grudge Ghost. I like both these women. This is not a TakeOver-worthy match. This isn't. This should have been on TV. Xia Li's going to win, I guess. The Grudge Ghost will do spoopy magic, and it'll be just as bad as the ending of Raw, which I fucking hated. Check out my review of that if you'd like. Xia Li will win. Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota versus Ember with Shotzi, maybe. Women's Championship match. Raquel wins. 15-minute match, I imagine. Raquel she might get hit with an eclipse and have her foot on the rope, but there's no way Ember's winning. And then Cross versus Cole versus Gargano versus Dunn versus O'Reilly, O'Reilly, 5-way part. Karrion Kross is winning. Gargano may take the pin because I honestly think they're going to either move the way up or they're going to split the way up at some point. I just don't know what else there is to do for Gargano to do in NXT. So Kross is going to retain. Legoland Phantasm, Escobar, Wilde, and Mendoza against Reed and MSK. Winner takes all match. Reed and MSK because Reed just won the title. MSK shouldn't lose the championships to Wilde and Mendoza, even though they're a good team. So I got the faces winning. Obviously, the 5-way is going to close the show, but the way I said it is because they literally just added the match tonight. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.